So, good evening, dear all our precious guests, panelists, and our new and loyal attendees. I am Amina Lilo from Finland. I am the founder and CEO of the Stella Polar Boutique Events and Stella Women Around the World platform. As today is the National Day of the United Arab Emirates, I would like to congratulate all the citizens of the United Arab Emirates and wish this beautiful country only peace and prosperity. Also, this week we are having a special Finland week, and Finland is celebrating its Independence Day on Sunday, on the 6th of December. The independence was declared on December 6, 1917. Finland was previously a Grand Duchy in the Russian Empire for 108 years and part of Sweden for 600 years before that. Before we start and I introduce you all our precious guests, I want to show you two small video clips about Finland and healthcare sector in Finland. So let us watch the clips and then we will continue our webinar. Welcome all.
Thank you.
Finland is a country with one of today's most valuable luxuries, the stillness of the northern nature. We have been ranked amongst the cleanest, greenest and safest countries in the world. Finland has something for everyone. As a yet undiscovered travel destination, we offer unique, authentic experiences. We are easily accessible from both east and west. Our airports and reliable public transportation enable smooth travelling from the archipelagos to the Arctic wilderness. In Finland, nature is often literally at our doorstep. The Finnish nature offers endless opportunities for activities and relaxation. The Finnish Nature Centre, HALTIA, gives the visitor a chance to explore the secrets of the northern nature.
We have the Arctic lights and the fjälls up in Lapland. Then we have the Lakeland, which is an inland archipelago with more than 100,000 lakes. And then in the southern Finland, we have the nature capital of the world, Helsinki, where nature is all around.
Finland has been ranked among the top 20 Congress destinations in the world. International audiences are attracted by our leading universities, specialized hospitals, and research institutes. We are experienced event organizers with the unique ability to make our guests feel welcome. One of the most attractive event venues, the Finlandia Hall, offers space for all kinds of occasions.
The venue itself and the city is only part of the success story, very important one, but it's always about the people. We Finns, if we give a promise, we do keep it. And so we are very reliable people.
So why Finland? Finland has the unique combination of unspoiled nature and rich culture. We offer genuine hospitality, high-quality services, and a wide range of activities all year round. We believe in world-changing ideas and turning them into global success stories. Finland works for us. Now let it work for you. Business Finland. World ideas.
We offer high quality and safe medical care performed by Finland's top specialists in, for example, urology, neurosurgery and cancer treatment.
Kruunupuisto is a beautiful health resort surrounded by unique Finnish landscapes. Here you can enjoy spa, sauna, physiotherapy and other health treatments.
I want to take care of breast cancer patients so that every woman, after she has recovered from her serious disease, could return back to the good quality of life.
We are the biggest private clinic for spine and arthroplasty surgery in Finland. We are a place of excellence according to the Finnish and international registries.
Docrates Cancer Center provides innovative and individualized world-class cancer diagnosis and treatment using the most advanced technology available.
As the most modern hospital in Finland, we combine world's leading medical expertise with top-class service. Welcome to enjoy our hospitality with FinHealth.
Welcome to Orton.
Welcome to Docrates.
Welcome to Hyksin.
Welcome to Clinic Helena.
Welcome to Kruunupuisto.
And here I want to welcome to our webinar today about the pain. And I'm very proud to introduce you our main hero, Marko Höynälä from Finland. He will tell us more about pain. And also we have a lovely panel here. Of course, Marko will be with Titta, who is part of the Kipuwex. Hi, Titta. And then we have amazing doctors from Bahrain, Dr. Ashraf Rifai, our Dr. Amy. Then we have beautiful Asia bin Wahous from Saudi Arabia, Dr. Asia. And we have also Captain Salit Al-Said. Welcome all. I'm very happy to have you here. First of all, to know who is Marko Höynälä. I already know him because I have met him a few times online. I will tell you also as well. Marko Höynälä is the founder and CEO of Kipuwex. Kipuwex is a Finnish word, by the way. Kipu means pain and vex means away, so pain away. Well-known innovator from Finland who has invented the 3 game-changing IoT products to the world. Ski, Micro, Kipuwex. Kipuwex medical device innovative solution to tackle global health problems, recognized among top medical innovations in the world 2020. The industries of his business vary from skiing equipment, microwave technology, to healthcare and medical devices. Marko is also the winner of 3 innovation competitions and the owner of 6 different paid patents. He wants to make a difference in the world by solving problems and helping people. Marko has worked over 20 years in telecommunication industry in various executive level positions at world-leading high-tech companies and demonstrated on continuous basis abilities to deliver and work effectively within large, complex and diverse multi-site organizations. Marko is known as a person who drives initiatives and projects into a completion always. So I'm very, very happy about Marko to be with us today and to tell more about the Kipuwex. But before we give Marko your word for you to talk, I want to introduce all and everybody that our audience knows who are sitting here also on our panel. So the next one is Titta Kote. She's the marketing manager of Kipuwex. She's a very special young woman who has created a beautiful concept for the kids, the Happy Ambassador multisensory learning activities. She was awarded for lifetime work in Rome, highlighted in Fatima bint Mubarak Presidential Awards in Abu Dhabi. Titta will share with us the Pain Carer mobile application, which was created by Marko Kipuwex as well. We will talk from the patient user point of view about the Pain Carer mobile application. What is the great news? Pain Carer will be available in Google Play Store on the 2nd of December, which means today. Maybe they heard that we have this webinar today, and that's why they decided to launch it today. So special day. Then we have our amazing Dr. Amy. Amy, I have to tell more words about you. I cannot make it short because you are amazing.
Thank you.
Dr. Amy is the founder of the InTouch Clinic in Bahrain. She is actually from Canada. When she was suffering a childhood accident, she landed on her head doing a double twisting, double backflip, and suffered intense pain in the neck and both arms for 5 days before visiting a chiropractor. In the first treatment, the arm pain was gone. However, what remained was a severe strain of the neck. So I know what is the neck pain because I have Dr. Amy's clinic now because of my neck many times. Chiropractic helped Dr. Amy recover and return to sports. The traumatic moment in her life proved to be the deciding factor that chiropractic was the career for her. She has extensive experience in the sports arena with rugby, football, gymnastics, marathons, triathlons, golf, and special interest in women's health and helping women through pregnancy. Dr. Amy graduated from Palmer College of Chiropractic, West, where she received her doctorate of chiropractic and served as the president of the Sports Council for a term. Walking across the globe, Dr. Amy spent 7 years working in a multidisciplinary clinic in San Francisco and San Jose, California, before moving to Australia for a year with her late husband. She lived in Saudi Arabia for 10 years, 7 of which she spent as the director of physical medicine and rehabilitation at the award-winning triple accredited Smart Specialist Hospital before deciding to move to Bahrain and venture her own clinic. Dr. Amy is the first licensed chiropractor in Bahrain and is a pioneer in the profession in the GCC region. She serves as the communications director for the Eastern Mediterranean and Middle Eastern Chiropractic Federation. Dr. Amy is passionate about wellness and helping people live to their full potential. Her vision is to create a world-class multidisciplinary integrated care center in Bahrain. Since opening in 2014, InTouch has gained a reputation as a world-class multidisciplinary private center, providing care that goes far beyond standard rehabilitation. InTouch welcomes patients from all over the GCC. So here about Dr. Amy. So then we have Dr. Ashraf Wazir Rifaya, consultant, anesthesia and pain management in the Royal Hospital for Women and Children in Bahrain. He will tell more about himself because he has also a very long list and he will tell himself. Then we have Dr. Asia bin Mahfouz, who is a communication, speech and autism therapist, and Suleiman Saidi from Saudi Arabia as well, who is doing a great job helping people, coaching people and doing sessions to help people. So all of you are here who are helping people. And today we have all and everything about the pain. So let's start from the pain. Now, Marko, now it's your time to talk us. What is Kipuwex and what have you done? Please, welcome, Marko.
Okay, thank you very much, Amina. So first of all, I would like to thank everyone for joining this. Everyone who is interested to hear more about Kipuwex and also pain, and especially Amina for organizing this event. So it's a pleasure for me to actually be on the stage, and probably it will take 40 minutes to go through my presentation. So I will start sharing the screen now. So can someone confirm that you can see this presentation now? Can you see?
Yes, you can see it. Yes, you can see it.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. All right. Before we go through the presentation, I will present the content, what we are going to go through today. First, I will tell a little bit about myself, background. Then I give an introduction of Kipuwex, and then we will zoom in and start talking about the pain. And then we will go through what we can do for the pain with Kipuwex. So we have basically two solutions. One is a Kipuwex device, and the other one is a pain care application. So we will present both of them. Then we will go through one video. It's about 3 minutes. And then Titta will also tell her own experiences from pain management with pain care. So a few words about myself. As Amina introduced, I have been working more than 20 years in telecommunications. I started 1995 with Nokia, but actually I'm originally from Tornio, which is quite far in the north, as you can see. One would say that it's almost nowhere. Probably that's a very good definition. But some key elements what I learned from these regions where I was born, that people are very honest, open and honest, and they always try to keep promises. Even today, when people are making, let's say, verbal agreement, they are legally binding. So in a way, this is actually coming all the way wherever I've been living, that people can trust me. I always try to keep my promises. This is one kind of basic fact about myself, and I never give up. So 1995, I graduated and I started to work with Nokia. Nokia was not that great at that point, but it started to expand very quickly. So after 2 years in Salo, Finland, I moved to Denmark. So in simple terms, we didn't have enough skillful people in Finland any longer. All employees, skillful employees, were employed by Nokia. Then we actually expanded to Denmark, where I spent 5 years. And after that, I moved to UK. I spent 3 years in UK, and Nokia was again expanding. And I was asked whether I want to go to India and start R&D operations in Bangalore. And I took this challenge. I went there together with my family. At that time, all my kids were very small, so it was a big experience and interesting journey to spend 2 years in Bangalore. After that, I moved back to Finland, continued working for Nokia a couple more years in different executive level positions. And after that, Nokia actually started to make some changes. They wanted to sell out the modem technology, and the Renesas bought the modem technology. So I was working with the Renesas 3 years. And then again, our modem technology was acquired by Broadcom, US-based company. So I worked a little bit less than 2 years at Broadcom. Then in the end, Broadcom decided to actually exit from the business, and suddenly huge amount of engineers became unemployed, including myself. So following day, I then started my own company, and my first company was Skiat. So Skiat is a device. It's again IoT device, which will actually, or it's targeted for winter sport. Winter sport is very challenging to analyze because there's so many contributors: weather conditions, gear performance, technique of the skier, and of course a physiology of the athletes. So this was a great challenge, but in the end we made a device which has been used very widely by Olympiatoppen, Norway. And one key feature what we introduced in Skiat was that it can analyze the gear performance. How good is the ski? And this is the only device in the world which can do that at the moment. Then I actually faced another problem. I think many of you have faced the same problem. It's about the microwave. So you put the food in the microwave, and typically when you hear bling, you take the food out from the microwave. It's either too cold or too hot. You put it back, and in the end, when you take it out, it's typically too hot. And I was thinking that why it's not possible to select the temperature of the food. I want my pizza to be 67 degrees, or my baby milk that I'm heating for my kids, why I cannot select that 37 degrees, please. And then I did a little bit of kind of study whether it's possible or not. And initially I thought it's not possible to put any kind of electric device inside the microwave. It will explode. But then actually I was in sauna, and then I came with the idea that maybe it's not impossible. Maybe we can put something inside the microwave. So what I did, I went out from the sauna, I took beer off can, and I put the beer can inside the microwave and put it at 10 seconds, that maybe it will explode, but nothing happened. So that actually raised my interest even further. If we can put the beer can inside the microwave, probably we can put some electronics inside the beer can. That was my second experiment. I put some electrons inside the beer can and put it back in the microwave and turn it on. And I was expecting it to explode, but nothing happened. But that was my first prototype showing that actually we can put electronics inside the microwave. And then obviously there was other challenges, that how we can measure the temperature and how we can get rid of all the moisture, etc. So we spent something like 3 years to come up with the first prototype, working prototype, that we can actually measure the actual temperature of the food. But it was a additional device. And then we found out that it might be too difficult for people to adapt if they need to use an additional device. That maybe we should actually integrate this technology inside the microwave. And that actually took yet 1 year to integrate this technology into microwave. And now, basically after 4 years heavy R&D work, we have the first in the world microwave oven in our office, where you can actually choose from the control panel of the microwave the desired temperature of the microwave. So you can actually choose if you want to have your food 60 degrees, 70 degrees, whatever. So when you hear pling, it's always at the right temperature. This was my second innovation. But all the time, I've been keen to actually do something in healthcare, medical domain, but I didn't have proper connections. So I was looking all the time at how I can actually get door open for the hospitals, because I knew that the digitalization, you can do many things in the hospital. And it took a couple of years until 2017. There was an innovation competition organized by all university hospital, where doctors and nurses, they listed 4 or 5 biggest problems they see in healthcare. And one of them was the pain management of the child. And that raised my interest that how on earth people have been on the moon and done all kinds of weird things, but they are not able to measure the pain of the child. So I made my proposal, how the pain can be measured, and I won that innovation competition. I was a bit hesitant to start the third company, and I wanted to get a little bit more evidence that there's a business potential, and also that this is a real global problem. So 2 months later, I participated in quite large pitching competition, and I happened to win that as well. So after that, I was brave enough to start my third company. It was August 2017. Actually, I forgot to mention that I was born in 1969, which means that I'm 51 if I calculate right. And I have a family, 3 kids. They are now adults. 2 of them are actually in university studying international business, and the youngest one will graduate from the high school today. And my wife is also an entrepreneur. This is a little bit about myself. Now we can go to a real topic, and it's about the Kipuwex. So this is a very quick overview. What is Kipuwex? It's an easily attachable IoT device, very tiny. I could actually fetch it. I forgot to bring it here, but it's very small. It will attach on the chest of the person, and it will measure more biomarkers than any other device on the market. And with the help of these biomarkers, we can calculate the pain. So we have carefully selected all these biomarkers that we have integrated in the device. And all these biomarkers, including the pain, can be monitored with the mobile application or web application, which means that the doctors and nurses, they can actually monitor patients remotely, anytime, anywhere, almost without any limitations. But in a big picture, we are actually addressing 4 major problems, healthcare problems. One is really that current methods and processes, equipment are not sufficient, because all the time there are more people to be treated and less amount of money, less amount of people who can do that. So healthcare community is now forced to find more affordable and more efficient ways to treat the patient. And what they are really after is a remote monitoring device. And this is exactly what we can do with Kipuwex. It's a remote monitoring device, which has, on top of all these biomarkers, it has ability to measure the pain. The second kind of problem is really related to developing countries. As you probably know, these current monitoring devices are very expensive, so they don't necessarily have money to buy those big boxes. And also there's limited amount of people who can operate those monitoring devices. And many countries, many areas, it's extremely difficult to go to hospital because of infrastructure limitations. So our first focus is really on developing countries. Of course, we are targeting a solution for global market, but initially we will target our solution for developing countries. But then some words about the pain. So approximately 1.5 billion people are affected by pain every day. And around 50% of the doctor visits are pain related. And furthermore, around 20% of entire population is suffering from the chronic pain. So this is also something what we are really tackle with Kipuwex. So we see there's a huge global business. And the fourth area is Corona. So currently it's around 60 million people infected by Corona, and it's not exact figure, but around 2% of them are healthcare workers. So in a way, healthcare workers actually risk their own life by actually treating these patients, and they need to treat that and monitor those patients exactly where the infected person is located. They cannot monitor them remotely, but with the help of Kipuwex, they could do that. I said that we do more biomarkers than any other device, and all the parameters are listed here. So we measure vertical angle, sound, temperature, respiratory rate, skin conductivity, EGG, heart rate variability, movement, R2R interval, pain, heart rate, EMG. And it's very easy to monitor any parameters with the mobile application. I will also explain that it can be done with the web application. But the mobile application, you can see a picture on the left-hand side. You can actually choose any parameter from the list. You can look at them one by one, or if you want, you can actually look at all of them at the same time. And everything is displayed real time. And web application is also a possibility. And with the web application, you can monitor multiple patients simultaneously. As in this example, there are 9 patients, but it can be any number. So you can actually see kind of overview what's going on in the hospital or in department or in the room. And if you see anything interesting or alarming, you open a single patient view where you can actually zoom in any parameters and have a closer look what's going on there. And good thing about our solution is also that we store all the data, which means that the historic data browsing is possible. So it's possible to look at what was EGG 2 hours ago, 1 day ago, 1 week ago, and current systems they don't offer that. Then one interesting case is ambulance. So I actually saw some challenges myself when I visited Pakistan, that they didn't have any monitoring devices in the ambulance. And it means in practice that the patient will be treated first time only, or monitored first time when the ambulance arrives in the hospital. But if they were to use Kipuwex, just put it on the chest, and immediately it will be possible to see all the key vitals with the tablet, for instance. And at the same time, when you see the key vitals with the tablet will send all data into the cloud, and from cloud further to IT system of the hospital, which means that the doctors and nurses can monitor what's going on in the ambulance. They can get prepared and they can give consultation for the care people in the ambulance. So these are the key elements that we have in the system. Obviously, the device is playing the key role here. And as I said, the device will be attached on the chest with the disposable ECG pad. It's a sticker. And then we have made our own gateway, which means that device will connect automatically to nearest gateway. Doesn't require any user interaction. So 9 devices can connect simultaneously into one gateway. And all data is stored in the Kipuwex cloud, which allows this historical data browsing. This is architecture. I don't spend too much time, but I just briefly repeat what I said. If you look at, there's a baby on the right-hand corner having Kipuwex on the chest. There's a Bluetooth connection between the device and the mobile phone. And then at the same time, when you see all the key parameters on the mobile phone will send all data into the cloud, either through Wi-Fi or cellular network. Or alternatively, you see 4 babies on the left-hand side. They don't need to be babies, by the way, but we all like babies. So all of them having Kipuwex on the chest, and similar way, Bluetooth connection between the device and gateway. And the gateway will send all data into the cloud, either through Wi-Fi or LAN connection. This is kind of simple architecture. Okay, and now we can start talking about the pain. So one could ask immediately that, what is the definition of pain? It's an unpleasant sensory emotional experience associated with the actual potential tissue damage or described in terms such as damage. And I'm sure that everybody knows that pain is a subjective experience and it's very complex and multidimensional, and therefore it's very difficult to quantify. And most common symptom, as I said, for people going to hospital or reason going into hospital is the pain. Around 50% of the people going to hospital are suffering from the pain. And pain assessment today, there are 2 types of people: those who can verbally explain and tell where they have pain. Typically, they use so-called visual analog scale, VAS. There's a picture on the left-hand side. I'm sure most of you have experienced and used that, showing that how much you have pain from scale 0 to 10. This is commonly used with those people who can communicate. But what about those people who cannot communicate? Like babies, toddlers, those who have some disabilities, also who are critically ill or conscious people. How to measure pain from those people? Currently, it's impossible, almost impossible. So what most of the hospitals do, they actually look some key parameters kind of manually. For instance, respiratory rate, ECG, temperature, and so forth. And also they look behavioral factors like crying and how the baby is moving. And basically these 2 information is combined. They look at, or they give actually score for every parameter. Crying 2 points, movement 1 point, temperature 1 point, respiratory rate 2 points, and calculate all this together, 17 points, and then they look from the scale. 17 points equals 7 in pain. This is pretty much how hospitals do today. So it's very subjective. And also, in order to get all these measurements, the baby or the person need to be hooked up in several different machines, and it's very expensive to do that. And also, it's a really time-taking to actually do this. So, at least in the modern countries, they basically do this only a few times per day because it's time-taking, and they hardly can do any follow-up. So if they actually come to the conclusion that baby is having pain of 7, they give the painkiller, and they hardly have any time to actually monitor that the painkiller works. And I will explain what are the problems and consequences if the pain is not treated in a timely manner. So, as I said, hospital usually rely on behavioral and physiological indicators. And the main problems are with the current systems and current methods that it requires lots of different equipment, and it's observation-based entirely. It's really time-taking, and it's a subjective. So the biomarkers of pain, in Kipuwex, we have chosen carefully these 11 biomarkers. They all related to pain, but the pain cannot be, let's say, quantified with a couple of biomarkers. So it requires more biomarkers and also need to take into account behavioral factors. And there's a lot of research done. What are the biomarkers that will contribute in pain experience? And they are listed here, like sweating is typically part of the pain, increased heart rate, blood pressure will change, cardiac output and blood flow, skeletal muscles will change. There will be changes in the skin and kidneys, and oxygen saturation and respiratory rate. So basically, we capture almost all of these essential key parameters, but we are unable to measure blood pressure with current device. So we are now starting development of a second version of Kipuwex, which can actually measure the blood pressure and oxygen saturation. Okay, so what are why the pain management is so important? Obviously, it relieves suffering, reduces complications, promotes patient recovery, make the hospital visit shorter, but it's extremely important for babies. Why it's so important to treat the pain properly for babies? Reason being that the central nervous system has not yet developed for babies. And if they suffer from the pain continuously, then the consequences can be extremely fatal. It can cause lifelong trauma, disorder in development, or the pain may become chronic. So one could say that cry, it's possible to basically define the pain based on the crying, but it's again just one parameter. And I have learned myself also that when baby is starting to have pain, typically the baby starts crying. That, yes, sure, it's a one indicator. But when pain is increasing and it will reach certain level, let's say 8 or so, then actually the baby will stop crying. This is really a fatal moment. If the baby is not treated at that point, when it's actually suffering from such a great pain, then the consequences are very fatal. So many parents, they actually misunderstood the situation when baby is not crying, that the baby is no longer in pain, but that's not true. So about 10 years, there has been quite a lot of researches done, 61 publications, how the pain can be measured automatically. And so the problem is still today, it's understood all these biomarkers that will contribute to pain, but there's no device, single device, which can actually capture all the essential indicators. But now with Kipuwex, we actually capture all the essential biomarkers. And what we do in Kipuwex, we basically take all these signals and we put it into AI, and AI will actually look the correlation between the signals. And then by doing that, basically the AI teaches that it will be able to determine the pain from scale 0 to 10. So pretty much I could say that we use the existing methods, but we have automated that fully, and we have more biomarkers. And because a robot does that 24/7, does very accurately, and it does it continuously. And now Kipuwex. You can see the devices on the right-hand side. It's capturing all the essential signals, meaning physiological signals, ECG, heart rate variability, respiration rate, skin conductivity, skin temperature, EMG, and also these behavioral factors. So we take into account also the sound, crying, and movement. And then basically with the help of AI, we are able to determine the pain of the child. And who has been involved doing the device? This is our team, very strong, very experienced team. And then in addition to that, we have a very advanced advisor board, very versatile. For instance, Tarja Pölkki is one of the world leader in pain research area, and she has developed a manual pain scale called NIAVAS. So she is really focusing for the pain of the child. So she is in our advisor board. And then we have also one guru from AI area, Tapio Seppänen, who is helping us to develop the AI part. And then we have various advisor, door openers, and business advisors, etc. And I will send this material to you, and if you want to kind of study more where all these claims are coming from, these are the references. Of course, these are not all, but I think these are the most relevant ones, so you can actually go and look those also by yourself. So this is a kind of a very quick introduction of a Kipuwex device. But then one could ask, okay, baby pain, yes, fine. But what about those who are suffering from the chronic pain? Do we have anything for them? And I can say yes. We have developed a mobile application for those people who are suffering from the chronic pain. And this is application only. It doesn't require devices on the chest. This application hopefully will be available in the Google Play today, but if not today, latest during this week. So we were really aiming that we could release that before we have this webinar. And if everything goes fine, we still have something like 4 hours to release that in Google. So hopefully it will come today. So I will quickly introduce what is a pain care application. Okay, so if I basically tackle this from problem point of view. So chronic pain, around 20% of people are suffering from the chronic pain. And what they need to do today is actually write down on their own notebook what type of pain they have had, where they have had pain, how much pain they have had, what kind of treatment they are getting, what is making the pain worse, what is making the pain better. So it's a manual work. Everything needs to be written on the paper or notebook. And most of these people, they don't take any notes. And because they don't take any notes, it's almost impossible for healthcare specialists to define the right type of medication because they don't understand the entire pain journey. And people, they don't remember. The pain is such a thing that you typically forget. After a couple of days, you don't remember too much about that pain experience. So we have developed an application which will capture all the essential events from the pain. So first, the person will log on the system or actually need to get the application on the mobile first. And then just log into the system and say your age and the gender, and then the appropriate model will appear on the screen. So it's a model where you can paint with the finger, the paint area very easily. System will ask, have you got the swollen or numb areas? And if you have gotten those, you can also paint those with the finger. And then the system will ask more information about the pain experience. What type of pain? There's a list of different type of pains. You need to click what type of pain you have. And the system will ask also external factors affecting the pain experience, like what is making pain worse and better, what has happened between the doctor visit, and so forth. And all this information is stored automatically in calendar, where you can actually look daily view, weekly view, monthly view, and you can monitor how the pain is developing over time. And because we store all this data, it's very easy to share this pain information, pain report with the medical experts. So you just select the time period, and appropriate reports will appear on the screen, and then you just press share. And then basically you send a PDF to doctors and nurses before you have an appointment, or you can actually inform your relatives as well if you wish to do so. And what else we have in the system? We have a so-called alternative care library. So as you probably know pretty well, in US especially, the opioid crisis had hit people very heavily. There's more people dying in opioid than in car crashes in US. So now really healthcare community is looking alternative care, alternative ways to treat the pain. So we have listed 6 categories, and under these categories you can actually find more information about the alternative possibilities and also local treatment suppliers. So you can actually look at, for instance, let's say example, physiotherapist. You go there and you can actually find the local physiotherapist from the list. So this is a very quick introduction of pain carer, and hopefully this will be released today or maybe during this week. And now, if we go back to agenda, I think we had one video, which we will be showing next. Okay, this was basically a demo of the application. Forgot to mention that there's also this voice input. So many times when people are having the pain, they cannot really use the mobile phone. They can actually make a voice record, such as clicking the voice input button, and then they can actually give a voice input as well. So this is a pain carer, and now Titta will say a few words about the pain carer, as she has been using that quite some time as a pilot user. So over to you, Titta.
Thank you, Marko. Yes, Marko said, according to statistics globally, it's estimated that about 1 in 5, or about 1.5 billion people, suffer from chronic pain. Based on the results of the studies, conclusion is that the recording of the assessment and treatment of post-operative pain is irregular and inadequate. Support patient involvement as a producer of information and as an expert in own situation is needed. Key to the development of pain management is ensuring competence, identification, assessment of pain, selection and use of appropriate therapies, and evaluation of the effectiveness of treatment. Informing the patient about the cause of the pain and the mechanism of pain reduces anxiety and fear and increases his sense of security. Regular assessment and recording of pain is a prerequisite for good pain management. That's why Kipuwex Ltd developed helpful solution for pain management, Pain Carer mobile application, which is easy to use tool for pain self-assessment to record pain experiences. Also providing a qualified drug-free treatments, alternative care library. As we know, treating pain is very important for each one of us. I have faced different forms of violence in my life, death threats, threat of child abduction due to cultural conflicts, and suffered traumatic flashbacks for past 15 years. I have given my face and my voice to support every woman who has experienced violence in their lives. During these years, I tried to hide my pain and created my own coping methods, even by creating concepts for the kids. My own coping methods helped me to survive, but not heal it. And I'm forever grateful for Kipuwex and for their solutions for pain management. I was fortunate as I was in a test group for Pain Carer mobile application, which has helped me a lot. We can't change our past, but we can learn to live with the pain, to manage with the pain experiences and to heal. Since summer, I haven't had any traumatic flashbacks, and that's a major thing, affecting my overall well-being and leading to personal happiness, which I think we all aim for. Through my user experiences, I can wholeheartedly recommend Pain Carer mobile application for pain management. I know sometimes it can be difficult to talk about pain experiences, but Pain Carer always listens. It's easy to use tool for pain self-assessment. You can evaluate, record, and report your own pain experiences. Pain Carer mobile application is developed mainly for patients with chronic pain. From my own user experience, I have used application for different kind of pain, whether it's chronic, traumatic, or acute. Application also gives you possibility to report your pain experiences, enables important communication between healthcare professionals. I find it very useful as I broke my finger 1 year ago, and now when I visited surgery, it was easy to reply to exact questions about chronic pain symptoms. I chose certain time period and reported my pain events to healthcare professionals. As I have suffered from traumatic experiences, I know how important mental health is, and it can lead to physical problems. With pain care, you can take care of your mental and physical health to manage with your pain experiences. I always thought if I can help even one person, I have succeeded. And now pain care has helped me, and that's personal happiness and success for me in the best way. Taking care of my health, as health is our wealth. Thank you.
Okay, so now I think we covered both the Kipuwex device and pain care. Hopefully you find it interesting, and I think we are now ready to discuss and maybe get some questions. So, Amina, will you take over now, or panelist?
Yes. Thank you, Marko, for this wonderful presentation. I'm reading from the chat box also that people are praising you for your very amazing presentation. It's not only the presentation, it's the device itself that you are doing. This
I'm not able to hear anything. I know whether other people, whether you can hear. With problems at our end. Can you hear what Amina is talking?
Yes, I tried to talk, but I think we have, you see, we are living in a new reality,
Obviously, we have a problem then.
Can you hear me? The others, can you hear me?
We can hear you. We can hear.
Everybody else can hear.
We can hear you, I mean.
Marko, is it mute? Marko? Maybe it's mute on your side.
There is so much echo, by the way.
Yes. Okay. Marko and Titta, can you hear me? I think that while we are fixing the technical problems, we can talk with Dr. Ashraf Rifai. What are your thoughts about this device, what Marko was presenting us? Please share with us.
Actually, the presentation is very beautiful. I'm very amazed to have someone to think this way. It's a very deep and detailed thinking of pain, which we actually really lack in the Middle East here. Now, if we are going to measure the percentage of pain in our Middle East, it will be, I can say, very high. And the concept of having pain as a disease to be managed, still this idea is not reaching to the authority people in our healthcare system. Still, pain is dealt with as a symptom for a disease, and they never thought that pain can be the disease itself. And actually, it is true that pain is a disease by itself. It's a very debilitating pain, a very debilitating disease. And in chronic cases, it really destroys life. And there were so many lives were destroyed because of this pain that nobody believed that it was there because they were not able to find the pathology to say. So ultimately, nobody believed them. But after these years, when Walla Milzak found the gate theory for pain, and then we started to understand that these people really had pain despite of no pathology or no obvious pathology that we can see or remove surgically or treat with medications. And the concept of neuropathic pain also evolved. And the more understanding of neuropathic pain, we find that we still go deeper and deeper and deeper in human psychology and the mental health of the patient. It's leading us all through the nerves and through the central nervous system with all its aspects. So still, when we say psychological pain, it is thought it's a very light thing that you just have to change, environment for some time, relax for some time, and then it will go. They don't know that a psychological pain can be much severer than even cancer pain sometimes. So having such a device and having somebody thinking that much deep of analyzing the pain and allowing the patient to point his pain and understand more about his pain and to know exactly where to go to treat such pain, that's a beautiful addition actually, and it will make this concept of pain management much easy to reach to the people here. At least if our higher authority is even still not convinced, but people can manage their pain through such application when they understand it and they can go to the targeted person. I have seen pain conditions that they have spent lots of money not knowing where to go because they were not able to express their pain properly, and maybe they didn't find the proper physician to ask the right questions to lead them and put their hand on the problem, and they live with the dilemma of where my pain is coming from, and they keep on jumping from doctor to doctor, and I've seen life wasted. 7 years pain, 15 years pain, and not knowing where is it from. That also, for me, it was like magic to some patients when they come to me with 7 years of pain and suddenly they find it can be treated simply with some medication or maybe some small intervention. Because my specialty actually is interventional pain management as well as the medical aspect of it. So they feel that just such a simple tablet has managed my pain, and all these years I've been suffering. Well, yes, because you were not, the diagnosis was not proper, and the type of pain was not managed. Let's say his type of pain is neuropathic and can be managed with a tablet of tricyclic antidepressant, and the patient is amazed how come such simple tablet has treated pain I'm suffered from all these years while the medication is in the market. But his diagnosis was not in the market at that time. So nobody has targeted the medication properly. I faced lots of these issues. So having this application, it's really gonna help a lot the people to understand their pain, cope with it, especially the chronic pain, and the biggest diagnosis and causing some dilemma or some confusion is the diagnosis of fibromyalgia and the diagnosis of chronic fatigue syndrome, which usually interact together or they may be misdiagnosed together, and also with other causes of generalized pain. So this device will really save lots of time and lots of money and lots of confusion to patients, and will help them actually to go back to their normal lives in a shorter period with less cost, definitely, because it will target them where to go. So I'm really very amazed of such application. I'm very amazed about that somebody has thought about this idea and put it in our hands. I don't know what to say except thank you. And I'm sure you will get lots of thanks and prayers from so many patients who will use this application and use this device.
Thank you so much, Ashraf. Beautiful words and very beautiful impact about Marko. Your great job. I'm so proud of you, and I'm really looking forward to have your device all over our countries here and all over the world in the nearest future. I had one question for you, Marko. The funding, have you got any funding from anybody so far? What is the situation with the funding? Because you are creating such an amazing device, and I think that people would want to be there to help you to get it for the others as well. Please let me know what is the situation with the funding.
Yeah, thanks. Very good question. Maybe I say a couple of words before actually I jump to funding part. So I said that this is very near to my heart. So when I started this, you know, there was always no saying that it's impossible to actually do this, and it's going to cost so much money that the startups, you are going to fail. You are not going to be able to actually gather so much funding. And what actually started kind of pushing me forward was my own experience from my own life. It was my dad who was actually suffering, or he got a cancer. So first few years, everything was fine, but in the end, the pain was increasing all the time, and he couldn't tolerate that in the end. So that is kind of my lifetime mission, that I will make this happen no matter what it takes. And by knowing, you know, I have two other companies and we have developed hardware, I knew immediately that yes, this will be very costly because we are now talking about medical device. Making a medical device, it costs a huge amount of money. So this is somewhat a game from big players. They have made it quite difficult actually, you know, get all the accreditation and medical approvals, blah, blah, blah. And all these cost huge amount of money. And we got initially some money that we got started, and we were able to make our first prototype. And then when we had our first prototype, we had a kind of proof of concept, and we were able to attract some more investors. But Finland, and especially the Oulu area, there's so many startup companies and only a handful of investors. So I find it impossible to find funding from Oulu, from Finland. And then actually I started to look abroad. So now basically all our investors who have been joining, they are abroad. They are not from Finland. And we were quite lucky in a way that even in the COVID-19 situation, we were able to find investors in our previous round. But it didn't go exactly as we wanted. We wanted to actually get bigger money that we can complete the development and we can actually go to global, basically, ASAP. So we got the funding that we now can complete the R&D part, but we still would need more funding to go to global. So probably within a few weeks, we will open a new funding round. And if there are anyone from the panelists or this group who want to invest, then feel free to contact. It's very expensive to actually make and finalize the medical device.
Thank you, Marko. I think that we need to get this awareness about such an amazing device here in this region. Dr. Ashraf, you agree with me?
100%, really, yes, I do.
Here is already 200%. I am 100% behind you, and Dr. Ashraf, this means 200% already. So
I'll be happy if I can provide any help here. It will be a pleasure, actually. We need to educate people about the use of device, and we will actually direct our attention to the people themselves, because the application is very user-friendly and can be used by a normal subject without any clinical training or anything. So people can really use the device, even if their doctors didn't ask them the questions, the device will ask the question. and they will get the answers. So you will help lots of lives. Yes, I would like to have this device here.
Thank you so much. And Dr. Amy, she had to go because she got emergency. You know, doctors, they have emergencies. And because we had already one doctor from German orthopedic, he also had like emergency. He had to stay at work and he could not join us. And Dr. Amy, she said, I have to leave, but I am so interested about these devices and I want all the information. And she had also already some thoughts how to go further and what to do with this. So I had to prepare a package of information for her. So Dr. Amy, so this is already 300%, you see, we already get more and more percentage. And Dr. Asia, you are also dealing with the people. Maybe you can also share your thoughts about this device and this application. Tell us about this. Dr. Asia is from Saudi Arabia, so please, your thoughts.
Thank you, Amina. Thank you, Amina. Thank you, Dr. Marcus and Dr. Ashraf. I came to know Finland through Sincere Amina, and today through Dr. Marcus. So well done, and we are so proud of you. I can say that in every professional and in every corner of our lives, we mention communication. So overcoming the barriers of communication, especially when it comes to illness, it's really essential. If we will be having this device and it really can measure the pain, it really will boost up the immune system, especially if we work it through communication. Like, for example, I wanted address this question, how accurate is the device in measuring the pain, which is come in terms of psychological pain, or the pain which is behind the physical pain, because that's what causes the body pain and what causes the body problems. So I really would love to also see let's say maybe not the evidence as much as how much is it accurate in measuring going through behind the pain problems, if the source of the problem. We all know that the psychological needs and the social needs and the personal needs, if they get met, it's almost half of the problem. So even if using the device will also lead to the use of communication, educating the people, as Dr. Ashraf was saying, in this part of the world. So we need communication in every aspects of our lives. But I really would love to see and hear Dr. Marcus talking about the accuracy and the measurement of this device when it comes to the psychological, problems and personal problems, which goes beyond the physical problems. Is it possible, Dr. Marcus?
Yeah, so I don't know, I was off a little while. I don't know what questions you had in the meanwhile, but one thing that I didn't actually tell during my presentation, that we have focus now, and the focus is the baby's pain or children pain. So the first version of Kipuwex will be able to determine the pain of the child under the age of 7. So that is actually the reason why we have chosen these parameters so carefully, that we can determine the pain of the child under the age of 7. But once we have done that part, then we will hopefully able to fine-tune our algorithm so that we are able to determine the pain of the adults as well. But we are not entirely sure yet whether we can actually calculate the pain with the existing biomarkers. And I said during my presentation that in the Kipuwex version 2, we included blood pressure and SpO2. And then certainly when those have been introduced, we are able to determine pain for the adults. And then when we get more data in our cloud, then the more clever the system will be. Probably we are able to say more about the pain. Of course, it would be it's still speculative. Can we, for instance, tell where the pain is and what type of pain? But we only know when we get enough data in our cloud, what we can do with the help of AI. So that remains to be seen.
Thank you so much. Because I believe, Amina, that like having this device will make even our work easier, you know. So we will can just, you know, we will be targeting the problem right away, like, okay, it's beyond the physical pain or beyond, you know, what is that like this device can give us. So I really would love to have it also in Saudi Arabia. It will really make our lives easier. And good luck with it, Dr. Marcus. And I am with you as well. So if it is not 100%, 1,000%, and I want to really see it. I want to see it that it is like like it's used here, down here, and it is really like working. The pain, if we know what is the causing the pain, you know, that's the half of the problem. And I'm really pleased that Amina, you had us today, and we get to know this. We get to know about this device. So we will be with you 100%, Dr. Marcus. Thank you for joining us and introducing us to this marvelous device. Thank you.
Yeah, it was my pleasure. I think I'm very happy that there was so much interest. I think that there was a good amount of people showing up today, good discussion, and happy to actually keep you informed how we are developing. So obviously there's still some R&D work to be done, for instance, or especially in, let's say, accreditation-wise. So we need to get a medical approval, and that is where we are focusing now. We need to get a CE mark, meaning type approval. We are quite far already with that. And then we need to do the clinical validation. And what is asked very often, that does it work with all kinds of babies everywhere? So is there any cultural differences? We are unable to say that. And when we are in the phase that, okay, we have done all the algorithm and clinical trials in Finland, and it works with Finnish children, then obviously next step is that we would like to actually have hospitals who will do the basic clinical validation, that they get convinced that it works also in their environment and with different babies from different culture. But we believe that there is no differences, but that is something that need to be validated.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so
Amina,
much.
I want to just say one thing. It has been proven, even there is a study through the Royal College of Nursing in UK, that communicating the pain is the most important element in healing process. So using the device along, you know, the communication methods, it's really going to be something that I'm looking forward to. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And I think that now today's first step, our webinar today, where we started the discussion, we started the informative sharing, that our next step, I think, Marko and Titta, you have to come here, and you have to take the devices with you, and you have to make a presentation and show it yourself. And we can test also, we will have connection with Dr. Ashraf and Dr. Asia and Dr. Amy as well. So we can think how we could do this here very soon, because COVID is still stopping us from traveling, but I think that New Year brings us more open doors, and we can meet at last here. And I think that we have to do this presentation here, and then already we move forward and we get all this beautiful application, because I myself, I'm suffering from pain. Today I visited, as I told you, Dr. Amy's clinic, InTouch clinic, and I have been there a few times per week because of the pain. So I need to have this device myself already. So I know so many people who need it. So you have to come here as soon as possible to tell more and to show it that everybody can test it here. So this is my thought now today, but I'm so grateful that we created this nice and useful discussion, because we are living in this era where we have to all the solutions, and you have created a big solution for our pain, so we have to see it soon and try it soon and live with this soon. Thank you so much.
Yeah, hopefully now the COVID-19 situation will get better because of vaccinations, and we get rid of all the travel restrictions which we have had. So basically, since January or February, I haven't had any business trips. So hopefully, pretty soon we can start traveling freely, and certainly we would like to come to your area, and hopefully by that time we are further ahead with our development, and it would be brilliant to demonstrate our devices when we're able to come over.
Looking forward to this day, really. I'm so grateful for all of you today here. Dr. Ashraf, thank you so much. Dr. Amy, who had to go, also thanks to her. Dr. Asia, and of course our main heroes, Marko and Titta. Thank you so much for being here, sharing your wonderful device and application. And I hope that really many people will get help from these devices and applications in the future. Thank you so much.
Yeah, well, Ms. Amina, just before you go, I would like to invite you to visit my clinic to manage your pain in a different way. Because Ms. Amy is offering one type of pain management, I'm offering another type of pain management. We can help you a lot to get rid of your pain. So I'll be very honored and glad to receive you in my clinic at any time of your choice.
Thank you so much. You see, help is so close. So we just gather here, and already I get help from Dr. Ashraf.
Inshallah, inshallah.
Thank you so much. This is,
Thank you.
This is, you see, together, all this sharing is caring, and from caring comes sharing. And this is the most important today in this new reality we are living with this COVID-19. It has taught us a lot, and it has taught us how precious our life is. It can go 1 to 3 and there is nothing left. So that's why we have to take care about our health. We have to take care about each other, and we have to love each other and be kind to each other. And then the world is much better, because we have to be better people, then the world is also better. And we have to manage the pain. This is the most important. Thank you so much for all of you, and looking forward for the next steps.
Thank you, Amina.
Thank you. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me by email or WeChat or WhatsApp, whatever. So happy to continue discussion also after this event.
I'm sure we'll contact you, Marko.
Okay, great.
We are all together with you, inshallah. And Amina, we are all one unity, and inshallah we'll make it through. This COVID brought us all together, regardless of the color of our skin or the language we speak. It's the language of hearts, and the pain can be healed through love and through hearts, you know. So we are looking forward to joining you, Dr. Marcus. Thank you.
Thank
You're
you
very
so
true, Asia.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye, Mr. Amina.
Bye-bye.